It's 7 o'clock, we're gonna call the meeting of the Selectmen to order, and we always start with a pledge of allegiance, so. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and we do like to keep track of who attends our meeting, so if you could give us your name so Pete can write them down.
Yep, Kenneth Duane.
Kenneth,
Duane, D-U-A-N-E.
thank you.
Katie Jensen.
Josh West.
Thank you.
You know, got it.
Yes, I know. Yeah, we know.
Okay. Right. We'll start the meeting with the approval of the agenda.
Can I just add, I had something come in, the Animal Welfare Society's shelter agreement. I would like to put it on under manager's report. I'm seeking a motion and a second to approve, and I signing it.
All right. Anything else? Motion been made, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Our next item on the agenda is public forum. Anyone who would like to speak to an item not on the agenda may do so now. You have something, or you're just,
We do have something.
okay, yes, go right ahead.
I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Katie Jensen. I've been a resident of this town for just about 5 years, and I've been a teacher at this school for 6 years. And I have 2 kids that go to the school with me.
Josh West, I'm also from this town, and as well have 2 kids that are in the town, and pretty involved.
And Kenneth Duane, also 2 kids. One's second grade, the other one's kindergarten, both involved in sports. Been here about 7 years now.
So we are 3 of the 15 current board members from the Arundel Little League. And I just want to begin by providing a little history about our organization. This is only my 2nd year on the board, so I've learned a lot in the past couple of years. We have been in operation for 8 years. We're currently registering, actually right now, students or kids for our 9th season. We typically have between 85 and 100 kids register for softball and baseball each year. Our fees are low. We charge $45 for the first child in the family, $25 for each additional sibling, and our T-ball athletes pay a reduced fee of $30. Many surrounding Little League organizations have fees that are significantly higher. Our organization hasn't raised fees in more than 5 years with the primary goal of keeping kids playing ball, giving them opportunity. We've never turned away for an inability to pay. Families with financial hardships have their fees waived. Those fees include complete uniforms for the kids, equipment, we even have cleats and gloves to loan if they don't have those things. Our organization has numerous operating expenses, including our charter and insurance fees, the local district, or Little League district fees, general field maintenance, upkeep, snack shack utility fees, restroom and waste management, removal rentals. We provide 100% sponsorships for all-star teams. We run late spring and baseball softball clinics. We purchase new equipment annually, balls, stock and regulation bats, helmets, and so on. We rely heavily on business sponsorships, community donations, league fundraisers to pay for these expenses and also to help with improvements to the fields. Over the past few years, the Arundel Little League has put a lot of time, money, and effort into improving the playing field and concessions area of the Gilliam Memorial Field. We now have, so as of 2 years ago, a chain link fence with a safety topper surrounding the baseball field. The infield has been built up with new infield mix. There are now foul poles installed. All of these improvements, particularly the fence, brought the field up to a regulation status. And with that status, we are now able to host all-star games, which we hadn't in the past. This last summer, we were able to host a major league all-star game for the neighboring communities of Bedford and Lyman, and we received a lot of positive feedback from visiting coaches and league umpires about the quality of our fields. The concessions area, we brought in crushed rock and constructed several picnic tables in order to clean up that area. We feel that now it is time to turn our attention to the softball field. One project that we are eager and we're ready to tackle, one that is, we feel is long overdue, is constructing dugouts for the softball field. They currently have chain link fence dugout enclosures with no canopies. The softball and baseball players experience a range of harsh playing conditions during their season. We start the season with flurries at times, rain, playing the rain, winds, the 90-degree heat, direct sun, and occasionally thunderstorms. And we feel our softball players deserve protection from those weather elements. Their games are long. And a safe place to take shelter in the event of a thunderstorm, as the parking is by the school and it's quite a distance from the girls' fields. We also feel they deserve a playing field that mirrors the quality of our baseball field. We have really nice dugouts for the boys and the fence, so we want the girls to have that as well. The softball player registrations have been on a rise over the past few years, and we feel like they'll continue to do so. We had 3 softball teams utilizing those fields last year. After we complete the dugouts, it's our goal to enclose the softball field with the chain link fencing, as the boys have, so that they can also gain that regulation field status. We had over the past 2 years, we have had all-star teams for our softball all-star teams, and we have been unable to play home games because our field wasn't quite to that regulation status. So with all of that said, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. West, who has some information about the projected costs for these dugout structures that we hope to build in the field.
Great job. I have basically been taking care of the fields now for a couple of years, and we have a really, really good group of people that are volunteering and helping out. But there's, it comes down to the bottom line, there's only so much money, and it's really tough. The worst thing is the thunderstorms. We got elderly people going down there, no handicap spots in the parking, and no cars for the girls to get into in the event of a thunderstorm. It kind of creates a little bit of chaos. And, we're basically, with so much people, I don't think we've ever had such a good group of people and good volunteers where we think we can actually turn that place into kind of, Katie and I call it, kind of like a hidden gem. There's no park in Arundel at all. There's no place for the kids to go. We don't want to turn this just into a baseball, softball kind of thing. Our futures, we wouldn't mind seeing a gazebo down there, a place for kids, families to go and gather and sort of have fun, And we don't know if there's any allocated funds or if we can, we're looking for some place to go kind of in the right direction, which way to head.
We own those fields, right?
Yes.
What do we allocate any funds at all annually to do any work on those fields? Or has everything been done on a volunteer basis?
Been handled by the Little League.
Really?
I think we mow them.
Yeah,
We mow.
Yep.
And I believe in the past, the town has shared the cost for the tick spray and all. I think that's been at the 50/50,
Yeah.
from what I understand. And the mowing is completed by the town.
But we should have someplace down there at least that I can think of that we can do right off, that shouldn't take too much, is to have Roger go down and check to see what we could do about some handicap parking down there. Because I know they close the gate, so you can't even drive through the gate. And that's quite a walk from there, because I know my granddaughter played down there, and I had to walk down and sit at the picnic tables. And at least if Roger could check to see if there's someplace down there and you could park just handicap cars.
Yeah, and we thought it would be nice to, eventually, and we're dreaming, like what could, come of this, but closer to, the turnpike side, it seems like there is some space there where, maybe we could make a smaller lot, or at least have some handicap spots. A lot of grandparents do come to watch this by distance. So we didn't know, we heard that maybe there was a designated Parks and Rec fund But even if such a fund doesn't exist, we were wondering if we could possibly partner with the town to possibly construct these dugouts, these structures for the field.
We have cost estimates?
Yeah.
We do, some plans we kind of have drawn up. Whole point threw these up. His kids are involved in sports
Oh, good.
and, local to the community.
Kids and grandkids.
Yeah, kids and grandkids. And, it may be a little hard to read, I just kind of printed these off, but, pretty self-explanatory, kind of mirroring the baseball dugouts. And, we were roughly in the $16,000 range to have these constructed. And, they have to be done to code, obviously, full foundation, which the baseball ones are on a full foundation as well. So, pretty well detailed, ramble.
And how much did you say, 15, 16?
Yeah, 15 to 16 range, and that's with, a lot of volunteering. That's with, myself, and I've got a good core group of guys, we're gonna tackle the excavation part of it. Local company doing the foundation, and also local company, building it and labor. It's a lot of volunteer help to get us to that price.
Do you guys have any funds now that you would be dedicating to this, or are you looking for the entire amount from municipality?
Yeah, we have, like I said, we have quite a few expenses. We don't
Yeah.
have enough in our account to pay for this completely. We applied for the Dunkin' Mugs fundraiser, they only select a few each year, and we didn't get that. So we have in the past, we'll try again, but we have cash calendars that we put out. We're gonna be selling, hope to sell the Amato's cards, subway card, we do as much of that as we can. We do a separate Duffy's. So we don't know what our fund, we're always fundraising.
So you don't have any money specifically set aside just to go towards this?
We know that this is our next project, once we've paid our other expenses. I think, it's like I said, it's only my second year in the league, but that's kind of the way they've been doing things is they fundraise and they were able to put the boys' fence in and then get the topper for it, and, so it's what's next, what's the next piece that we hope to improve upon, and we feel like it is the softball fields, but this is a big ticket item.
What's your big expense here? You said you had some people volunteering to do the excavating, and what's?
Big expense was mostly the foundation part and the materials for the building. And then, a little bit of an expense for the fencing that protects the kids, kind of from the foul ball going into the dugout.
So, from a former equipment manager, vice president of the league, Tom spent many, many years there. you
We
know.
put the fences up that are there now.
Yeah.
We did.
So you guys know what it's like.
Yes.
So we know exactly what it's like. We spent a lot of labor. I mean, I've driven my tractor down there from Liberty Acres to Mo, so
We have spent many
You know,
weekends just
I mean,
raking and.
certainly can appreciate that. From my perspective, I mean, I think, that, you folks ought to put together a fundraising project specifically to this, and then, try to go out and gather some funds. I don't have a problem with helping out somewhat, but, to me, I'd like to see a detailed list of, what all of these items, what the costs are, and then, you go after a fundraising event, and then maybe we might be able to help out with, we do have a parks fund that I'm not sure if we could stretch it to this or not, but
But get a list of the people who will donate their time, doing different things. Maybe people that have a construction business who could donate some time, even maybe donate some of their services, and maybe donate some materials. And start putting that list together.
And that's kind of been,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can rattle off a few things to you. Foundation,
Yeah.
Duke Evans.
Yeah.
Concrete, I mean, at cost, everything at cost, and labor he's gonna do minimal, try to keep it two guys doing the labor, but
You don't have anyone who could help him to save your labor?
you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I bet if you'd approach the concrete companies, one's in town, one isn't, but they're all good folks, I bet you could get some concrete out of them. I'm 90% sure a couple of them would donate concrete.
Over the years, we've definitely groveled
Yeah.
for help and donations, I mean, that's what it's all about. We're not alone, you know, every town is this way, you know, so.
And get a list of material. I know one horse club that wanted to build a barn, and they actually sold planks. So for a certain amount of money, you could buy a plank in the barn. I think the planks were like $100 a piece. You could buy a plank in the barn, and you had part of that. So that could be a fundraiser, yeah.
Are you permitted to sell advertising?
So you have a what?
Are you permitted by the folks in
We
Williamsburg or
do.
whoever controls this stuff? Can you sell advertising?
We do the banners.
We do.
We do banners.
Could you put something on the building?
We could do that.
I mean, I know, if you look at Bedford's fields,
Yeah.
they're lined with,
Whole
Yeah.
fence
entire
are
outbuildings
outlined.
that lined with ads,
Yeah.
you know, that's,
We do sponsored
Yeah.
banners, yeah, we have,
If you did that, you could raise almost enough money to do this, selling banners.
Yeah, our fence was,
pretty well covered
we had
this
we
year.
had a few open spots, but our fence is,
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
yeah.
didn't we get a grant from somebody for recreational, and we used some of it on the trail? No, I'm thinking back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, on the Eastern Trail?
Right.
Well, we use money from the parks fund, right, because
We got a grant
Yeah,
from
but I thought
somebody.
we had a grant too. I thought either that or maybe it was the Eastern Trail Association that had the grant.
No, I can't remember.
Whatever funds we have, they're in that account, in that parks account.
Parks account.
If you need any, if this project goes forward and you need gravel, or stone, or dirt materials, I think I know where you could probably get some.
Appreciate it.
Get his phone number.
It's in the book. Guy, first of all, guys, I commend you. Having 4 daughters that went up through, it's a lot of work, and you guys do, I'm still on the Facebook page, even though they're all in high school, and you do have a lot of great volunteers, and while mine were going up through, there wasn't so many, and it makes it tougher. I donated the shutters for the security of the concession stand, those are mine.
Thank you.
But the softball field was in dire need back then, and it's very sad that it still is lacking. I wonder if somebody would sponsor a whole dugout, me in the dugout after you, maybe get a builder that, if you're looking at $4 or $5 grand, you could name it, something like that.
Or even if you had 4 builders that would split the cost of the dugout, and it would be the ABCD dugout. Sponsored by, and
Sure.
So was it your plans tonight to come here and ask us to provide money for this, or, what?
I guess I'm not, go ahead.
I think it was just to open the dialogue.
Sure.
Where it is a town field, and where we are putting structures on the field, permanent structures. We just thought if there were a fund, would you consider allocating some funds, not the full expense of this, but just would you consider it, where it is kind of a town-only park, I guess. And like Josh said, primarily this park is used for baseball, softball, and that's where it sees most of its traffic is during that season. they do some rec soccer out there, and they have some adult sport, you know, I think women play field
Good,
hockey out
yeah.
there, and my husband and son are out there playing all the time on Sundays and all. But we just wanted to see if you would just consider allocating some funds towards this endeavor. Because it's definitely a bigger ticket item than what we've
Than
had
what
to
we can
conquer in the
handle,
past.
yeah.
I'm in favor of doing something. I mean, these are
Me too.
our kids, I mean.
We lived through it,
We've done it.
absolutely, you know, that's why I mentioned the park fund, you know,
Yeah.
that's, you know, there's no doubt, I mean, I certainly would be interested in, you know, throwing some money to help kick off a fundraising program, but, you know, I'm not in favor of saying, here you go, here's $16,000, you know, I'm not in favor of that, but I'm in favor of kicking something to, you know, help you guys, you know, specifically do a fundraising for this, so.
And our fundraising efforts don't stop, like, we really truly are always looking for like the next big fundraiser.
I know how much work these folks do, because I brought 4 kids through recreation, and back then we were still on a volunteer, and was just no end to what we had to do to keep it going. And I think we need to try to help them if we possibly can.
And Sean Houston and I and somebody else who rebuilt those dugouts a number of years ago. They were a mess when we did.
Yeah, they were pretty old,
Yeah, yeah.
because they were, we got out for built when my kids were
Yeah,
there.
they were right.
And
Thank
they
God
were all
that Sean
built
was
on
there.
volunteerism, so.
We did the concession stand, right?
Did you guys have any number involved?
I just wanted to raise one point here before you go on, Tom, I'm sorry,
Sure.
but as a Little League veteran myself, with 3 kids who went through a great program, I just wondered, this is town land, right, that the field is on? Could Roger and his crew, when they have, and I know they're busier than hell, but if they had the time, could they contribute time and trucks and that sort of stuff to helping this well? That might reduce some of the cost.
They've done some mowing there, and
No, beyond that, in terms of the
Yeah.
construction that's being
I
done
think
here.
Roger has brought in some stuff before. I think we-
Yeah, Roger's brought in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it seems to me, I remember Roger bringing in some, loam, you know, a couple of truckloads of loam or something, and, you know, but.
It might work out to help these guys in their construction to have that.
And we are gonna ask him to go up and check to see about being able to park at least handicap cars up
Yeah.
there.
We used to park all our vehicles there, and my kids were just getting out when they proposed that, and I was very nervous. I was like a safety, not just lightning, but an injury or a bee sting or something like that. That would stress me out so bad, having a lock gate and not having emergency
Yeah.
It's
access.
horrible.
Yeah. Now, who has the key to the gate? Who locks the gate?
I control the key to the gate.
Oh, okay, all right.
And, the ambulance and fire department, the rec department has given them a key, so they're supposed to have a key in each one of the trucks.
Is there a lockbox out there?
There's not a lockbox, and we're gonna.
Probably should be.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're gonna put up a lockbox, but, you know, like Katie was saying, you know, future stuff, we'd actually like to kind of see the gate go away. It's not super inviting to walk up, you walk into a locked gate, and then we all kind of scoot around the side and
Yeah.
kind of go around. I think when I was growing up, and I was playing Little League, the town was a little different then, it wasn't so populated, wasn't so many people around, and I think there might have been kids going out there on
Yeah, the
vehicles.
kids, their vehicles, there was, you know, I know we had some problems with people, selling donuts out
Yeah,
the
but I
field.
think times have changed a little bit, and, you know, it's,
Oh, there's even a problem with just parking out there.
That's
Everybody was
right.
parking on the fields, and
Yeah.
the fields were being used for other things at that time. Football was in play, and it was a mess.
Yeah,
It was-
But at least if that gate can be open during games, and areas available up there for at least anyone with handicap plates or a handicap sticker, you could have handicap spots up there.
I don't remember, who controlled whether they could park there or not?
It was the
It
president.
was the Little League that did it, right?
no, it's
It was?
It was?
Roger has most, we usually touch base with Roger, like mostly in April, we'll give him a call, and, he goes down, checks the fields, make sure they're not too wet, and, you know, we always get approval before we go on the fields.
There's a practice field that we're gonna have in back of the softball field. They were gonna use that as another practice field. I'm sure that's, was plenty of parking, if feasible. I don't know if you go over,
That's just a leach
That's
field.
what I thought.
Yeah, there's a leach field.
Yeah.
still with, but that's how, nothing had changed. since
No,
the
that didn't change.
renovation.
Okay, you get working on something, and we get working on something, start making up your list of volunteers, and, I mean, you have your regular fundraisers that just cover your regular expenses, but have a separate pool over here of fundraising things just for this, and start getting your list of names and getting people to volunteer or commit to helping with, you know, the digging, or the cement, or the gravel, or the wood, or, the building. And we'll see what we can all come up with working together.
Right?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, and let some of those old timers know when you're doing it, at least, we're not that handicapped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Volunteer here.
Love baseball, so.
Yeah,
Same here.
put their names down.
We should give you the schedule too. It's
Yeah.
exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome,
Let us
thank
know.
you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, any other public forum, items under public forum? All right, let's move on to approving the minutes of January 23rd.
Move to approve it, prepared.
Second?
Okay, motion's been made and seconded for the minutes, all in favor? All righty. And committee and board report, how about planning board?
I don't think we have anything.
Okay, budget board, no, we're,
We don't have any budget board
Nope.
because we would have met this evening, obviously that's gonna be canceled. But we'll have some things that we're gonna have to just finish up and tighten up for our next one. I'll let you folks know when Sean and I try to figure out which day. It will be a Wednesday, we're just not sure which one.
I haven't had a chance to make the school board meeting last night, so.
well, I know the RSU is working on the budget, and we had 3 meetings last week, and I think our next one is in a couple of weeks. They're tightening things up too.
Sorry, just had a few ideas.
Okay, good. Managers report, compliance with general assistance statutes.
Yeah, just to give you heads up that the Department of Health and Human Services came in to take a look at our general assistance program. The review indicated that Arundel's in compliance with all the statutes in the Department of Health and Human Services general assistance policy. So they provided a letter to Wendy, which I provided in your packet. So congratulations and kudos to her. Again,
Does a great job.
just did a fantastic job. And always like to see that stuff happen. We have a pre-construction meeting coming up at the Bartlett Bridge on Wednesday, March 8th. Pre-utility meeting starts at 9, which Roger and I will attend. And then the stakeholders of the pre-construction meeting is from 10 to 12. So if anybody wishes to attend, or if you can think of anybody that I should reach out to and invite, I certainly will go ahead and do that. I think Roger had a couple of people that he was going to do that with, so whatever you can think of.
Would it be prudent for our resident deputy to attend that?
You know, that's not a bad idea.
Is there gonna be traffic problems?
Yeah, maybe Max can know about
At some
that.
point, he may be interested in knowing how that's gonna go forward.
I will reach out to him. Thank you, Phil. In your packet, I also provided you a letter from the selectmen of the town of Alfred. They brought this subject matter up at the detox in bed facility, that public hearing that I attended. They feel that their services are being taken advantage of from time to time with the location of the county jail and all the association activity that's associated with that, obviously. And are looking really for the county commissioners to support some additional funding to cover these expenses. I'm not quite sure how you all feel about it. I sort of look at it, this is just my opinion, I sort of look at it like Arundel does with our ambulance service. I mean, we provide services for ambulance service, and I can tell you today that we don't collect anywhere near what some of these costs may be for our services. Oftentimes it may be folks that can't afford it, or we are limited by Medicare as to what they're going to, or main care, what they're going to pay. So to say that Alfred is the only community that may have to have those challenges, I'm not quite sure I'm going there.
But the difference is, we're serving Arundel residents, they're
Right.
serving residents from everywhere.
County
And
residents.
even more than that, that could be out-of-state residents.
Yeah.
I mean, some people get arrested, they go to jail, they gotta go to the hospital, they come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And the statistics of the lower income for that is, I think, greater than.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
providing some observations to you.
I was-
I'm not quite sure how you fall down on this, or whether or not you want me to reach out to your York County Commissioner delegate to express your views as to support or not support in trying to put a little extra money in there to cover these costs. I'm certainly up to anything that you would like to do. Obviously, you have a really good point when it comes to that.
What would happen if, because these people are guests of the county, that the county was responsible for their ambulance bills? I mean, that would get shared with every town in the county.
Well, I think that's what they're implying with the letter, Velma, is that it would, 29 communities, it would break it down to about $827 per community that would be added to the bill. So our county bill would be slightly more to cover that cost. I think that's what they're implying.
I mean, in the scheme of things, the $800 to $1,000
Is not, yeah. If that's all we would have to put in, we wouldn't even notice that on the
I'm certainly in favor of it.
And if all the counties, all the towns participate, that should be about what it'll be.
Yeah, because the county commissioners would have to make that decision.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
For the budget process.
yes.
Right. But I think with the letter, they're expressing their feeling and perhaps trying to get some support from you to contact our county commissioner to tell them how we feel about it. The sense that I'm getting from the board is that you would be in favor of allocating some additional funding to cover these costs for the town of Alfred. Okay.
Now, they may not, the commissioners and the budget board may decide that they're not going to fund that at 100% because ambulance costs don't get funded at 100%, but even if they funded them at 60% or 70%, at least the ambulance would get some funds, the same way ours does. But yeah,
Okay. I think I'm all set. I got the flavor of the board. I will write a letter on behalf of the town
okay?
expressing the sentiment of the board generally felt this evening and your support of adding the extra money. Thank you.
Okay, how about the animal welfare agreement?
Yes, every year we have a shelter agreement that we sign with Animal Welfare Society in Kennebunk to house our animals that are either scooped up or brought there by the ACO, or any associated costs that are involved in that. And for me, I just go right to what we're being asked of in terms of dollars. And the dollar amount is not changed from the previous year. So it's $51.91, rounded off a little bit. It will stay the same as it was the previous year, which is already built in the budget. And I've reviewed the document. The document is generally boilerplate as to what it was last year. And I would entertain a motion in a second to provide me authority to sign this on behalf of the town.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor? We need to have a place to take the animals.
No, we don't.
Yes.
State tells us that.
Yeah. Old business, the draft policy,
I think we've gone beyond the draft
Yeah.
policy now. We finally have gotten into
actual
the
policy.
final policy that has been drafted. Hopefully you've all had an opportunity to look at it. I've vetted the policy in this detail to both the planner and the code enforcement officer. They're fine with it as written. It sort of now lays out in writing a procedural process that we will continue to follow from this point forward. I think it's clean and precise, and I want to thank Tom for his overview of some of the stuff we started out. I think we got 5 drafts in, and finally get to the final draft. So, if there's no changes, I would support a motion and a second to approve.
I make a motion that we approve of the planning,
As a,
enforcement matters, the planning board and CEO policy 2/13/17 as written.
yeah, but that's February 13th, and today's the,
Sorry, I'll just make an
Make it different.
adjustment
Yeah.
and note it in my,
yeah.
but I'll have you sign this document.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? All righty, thank you, Tom.
I would make, and I mentioned this to Keith, we'll probably get, there's a conflict between this policy and what the ordinance says with respect to who enforces.
Land use ordinance?
Right, the land use ordinance says the CEO does. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, he doesn't have the authority to spend any money to do it, but we probably should, as we're amending the ordinance, just be clear that the CEO can recommend to us whether to move forward, but he really doesn't have the authority just to do it on his own. But we'll fix that.
So-
Yeah, and I think that generally happens now.
Right. Oh, yeah, sure, Jim does it,
All those
right, Jim
times.
does.
Does a great job.
If he has to take enforcement action, he goes to town manager or to the board?
We would have to approve any expenditure.
The final enforcement measure would have to be here.
Right.
Okay.
If he's looking for inquiries and guidance, I generally allow Jim to go ahead and contact the town attorney for
Sure.
that.
Right.
But when he gets down in the nitty-gritty, then obviously we can.
Oh, we have one that we're signing already.
Yes.
How about, while they're working on that, the NDOT centerline rumble strip installation?
Mr. Balaj was scheduled to come on Monday. The storm obviously put him off, and he understood that. We have scheduled him for your meeting on Monday, the 27th. He will be here to give a presentation.
Okay, how about approval of the hazard mitigation plan?
Yes, our emergency management director, Reno Tardif, has been working with the York County folks to go through and update our hazard mitigation plan. That has been completed. I do have it with me. If anybody wants to go through it. I've been through it. It seems fine to me. I would entertain a motion in a second to have you folks approve it and sign this sheet here that goes with the plan.
Is this a, something that they look at every year, or is?
I think it's every 4 or 5 years, they sort of update it again. There are pieces in it that get updated on a yearly basis, emergency contact numbers, things along those lines. But the general scope of it doesn't change a lot from year to year. Typically, like right now, they're trying to put together a Form 7 for this past snow event to see if there's enough cost within your county to declare an emergency so we can get reimbursed for some of our costs. That would be something that this mitigation plan, because we're a part of it, allows us the opportunity to take part in.
So the form says, you know, hereby adopts a 2015 York County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
That's the most recent. They've been working on it for a while.
Didn't we sign one of these some years back?
Yes,
Cathos?
yes. Probably in
It's about the
2010,
same,
maybe. Probably been about that long.
yeah.
Okay, I move that then we adopt the 2015 York County Hazard Mitigation Plan and sign the resolution of adoption.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Okay. And the accounts payables and the payroll warrant. Motion to approve. Making that motion?
Yes, I am.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the warrants, a second?
Second?
All in favor? I thought I was gonna have to come down tomorrow and sign the payroll warrant. Okay, now we need an executive session.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion, we go into executive session 4056C, discussion on purchase property limit road.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
As I indicated to you, I invited Sam. Sam would like to, and I think you're all part of the whole group, right?
We're looking at one half of
Okay.
ACC.
So let me shut the door and they can chat with you for a little bit.
And the camera.
Yeah.